All right, what's going on YouTube? My name is Z, and I'm a certified strength and conditioning coach based in Brooklyn, and I've been training calisthenics and weights for about 9 years today. And today's topic is why most people quit fitness early on into their journey. The reason is not because they're lazy, it's because they're relying on motivation and they don't have a structure and system set up in place. When you make fitness extremely easy to do, when you make it harder to not do it than it is to incorporate into your life, that is the reason why you're quitting. You need to find a way to make sure that your entire routine is centered around fitness. When you wake up, you either go to the gym or when you come home from work, the first thing you do before you do anything, you eat dinner, before you do your most important part of the night, you have to get in that workout routine. Find a way to make sure that it is impossible or not even impossible, that it's harder to miss the workout than it is to actually follow through with that workout. Make sure you do your research, you're not second guessing yourself in the gym, and you come up with alternatives. Say you can only go to a bot gym during 5 to 7, the most crowded time of the day. It's going to be crowded. Machines are going to be, used. Barbells are going to be used. Make sure you have a second and third option so that you're still able to do that workout. You know, and that's why I'm such a fan of calisthenics because you don't have to worry about that. But that's getting off topic a little bit. Motivation is great. It's wonderful. I use it too. It is a very incredible tool as humans have used it, not just in fitness, but with just life in general. The problem is motivation, it comes up and downs, it ebbs and flows. So some days it's going to be really high, maybe for the first month, but eventually, and no human is immune to this, eventually that motivation is going to dip. Sometimes it might bounce right back up, but oftentimes it gets lower, 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 lower until you leave that motivation. You need to wait for that next spark, and it might be a while till you find the next spark. So by making sure your routine is set up in a way where it's harder to miss a workout than it is to follow through and just do the workout, even if it's 30 minutes a day, once a week, you can still make progress. Research has shown that high intensity for 1 times a week, especially if you're a beginner, you can still make progress. It's going to be a little hard to make progress if you're an intermediate or advanced lifter, but it's technically still possible to make progress with just training 1 times a week. You just have to make sure your intensity is high. So find a routine, find a frequency, find a volume that works for you, your schedule, and your lifestyle. You really need to think about how you can make things easier for you. If that means ordering food, meal prepping every Sunday before the weekday, you find the system that works for you. That means you have to wake up an hour earlier to get in that workout, or you go during your lunch break, then eat lunch. After your lunch break, maybe you work at a job where you're allowed to do that. You just need to find a way that it's incredibly easy for you, because motivation eventually, even if it's for a long time, even if you maintain your motivation for a year, eventually life's going to get in the way. That motivation is going to get lower and lower, or you can't rely on it constantly going up and down. You might be really consistent for 1 week, not consistent for 2 weeks, and then that average over the course of those 3 weeks, it means you're not consistent. So you can't really rely on motivation. That is the reason why most people end up quitting in their fitness journey, because they don't make it as easy and as simple as possible. Lay out your workout clothes, pack your workout bag, plan the workout, plan a second and third option in your routine. So if you go when the gym is crowded, you know what to do, and make sure you're not getting injured, because that's, again, you need that consistency, you need that routine, you need that structure. Relying on motivation is going to take you to that first step, second step, but to go far, you need that routine, you need to make it as simple as possible. So your homework is really just to sit down and think to yourself, think about your life. How can I make it easier to incorporate fitness to my life? Maybe you could start parking a little bit further, walk to the train or bus if you live in a place where public transportation is accessible, so you can increase your daily steps, go on a walk during your lunch break. Just find different ways to incorporate, health into your life, and just making your entire fitness routine, your entire life centered around fitness, because then it's going to be almost impossible to quit if your entire life revolves around it. There's so many ways. Let me know if you want another video on specific tips on how you can actually incorporate fitness into your life. But just know that, especially if you're a beginner, we're in March, we're in the third month of the year. You set a goal for yourself in January. This is really where that motivation starts to dip. And, this is really where you're going to see that progress in the summer. This is basically halfway through your 6 month journey, so just find ways. Even if you rely on motivation, that's okay. Start finding ways to move on from motivation and just make it a part of your routine so it's easy to maintain. All right? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoy this or just want to learn more about calisthenics and weight training and how to combine them, then feel free to like and subscribe to this channel.